We're live. I am so late, and I feel like we need more lighting. Let me turn on more lighting. Okay, let's try to get us some better lights. Mm, I don't know. Okay, so I am so late, but I had already committed to doing this, and so I won't be here long at all because it's been a busy day. And it's really busy. It's really, really, really busy, and it's amazing. A great problem to have. Um, I'm going live from my laptop this time and not my phone. So I hope you guys are having a great day. I literally had scripts. Well, not scripts. I'm not going to say scripts because that's not factual. I had talking points for these 28 days of going live because I just feel like when I'm prepared, I show up better. I just move with more confidence. But today has been a day, y'all. And so maybe I could just tell y'all what I've been up to. For those who don't know, I am a full time entrepreneur. I have a startup called Block. And Block is a home exchange and hospitality intelligence platform. And we essentially help Black creatives travel more freely. And so I'm really trying to get y'all some better lighting because this lighting is horrible. Let's see. I don't know. I don't think it's doing anything. Okay, well, this is what you get. This is what we got. This is what we got. We're going to use what we got to get what we want. I call that the diamond effect, like Diamond from Players Club. Anyway, so today is day 3 of becoming aligned with Kingdom Intelligence, a 28 days of awakening. And so, one of the reasons why I wanted to do this series is to get off autopilot. And it was equally as important for me to do it as I feel like what it is I have to share for whomever tunes in whenever they tune in. And so, this is why I turn my camera on. I go live every day at 4 p.m. It's 6:18. And the reason why I'm late is because things have been moving. I'm busy. And so even tomorrow, I got to figure out how I'm going to make this. Oh, I can actually, no, 3 to 5. Okay, yeah. So I have to figure out what going live looks like tomorrow simply because I have a busy day and life is happening. And I just wanted to do what I said I was going to do and turn this camera on. I really didn't come on here to talk about anything in particular. I just came on here to hold myself accountable in the way in which I said I was going to. And because most of the time when we do stuff, we have to make sure that we can hold ourselves accountable and show up even when we don't feel like it. And that was one of the things that I was concerned about when I said I was going to do this live is, am I going to show up when I say I am? And what if one day I can't show up as greatly as I would the other day? And I made my mind up that I was just going to do it regardless. And here I am, 2 hours late, talking about what's going on, y'all. So, what happened today? So, again, I'm an entrepreneur, full-time entrepreneur, but I also work for a nonprofit that teaches entrepreneurship in schools here in New York. And that's been a beautifully adventurous journey because I would not naturally call myself a entrepreneur just like on a regular basis. But because I'm sorry, a teacher. I would not naturally call myself a teacher on a regular basis because I just wouldn't. But apparently, your girl is a teacher and she's a really good teacher. I didn't know I was this good until I knew I was this good. And then now I'm like, oh my God, you're good. And when I say good, I'm talking about good as in like um, people are giving me feedback and showing me and telling me how good my work is. Let me see. I'm trying to get us some better lighting without having to move my life around. That didn't really do anything at all. Um, yeah, so apparently I have teaching skills that I knew nothing about. And I am so happy that I stuck to it and I said yes and I showed up because um, these babies, I go into a high school and I teach juniors and seniors. And then at the end of the month, I'm going to have a new class and it's going to be sophomores. And when I tell you that this work is so meaningful and it gives me such joy that I didn't even know I wanted, I didn't even know was possible. I didn't even know I was looking for. And so I'm happy that I said yes. And what I want to share this because I was just talking to my best friend and we were talking about how, wow, I cannot believe you're in such alignment um, just in this journey because a lot of people who may know me or may have heard of me, I really want to get us some better lighting, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to change. I'm going to move in the midst of our lives. Sorry. But I just think, if you guys can see me better, it could help some things out. So, oh, wow. Am I still live? What's going on? This is so fun and so interesting. There we go. See, look at that. Look how better good lighting could be. Now, what part of my house do I not want to show y'all? The one part I do want to show y'all. How about that? Yeah, let's do this. So, this is so much better. Duh, I was supposed to do this the whole time. Okay, so alignment. That's what I came on here to talk about. That's what this whole series is about, alignment. Let me just tell y'all something. I'm about to be 40 this year. I know I don't look like it. I'm just saying. Um, I didn't even know that alignment was the goal. I had no idea that one of the larger, greater areas of success was alignment. And what is alignment? Let me see if I can kind of like describe what it feels like. Alignment feels like being in the flow. And it doesn't mean that you're getting all yeses, all green lights. It means that everything around you is working out for you. Right? So even if something doesn't work out for me, something else better works out for me. And so alignment is being like confident enough to show up, give it your all, but submitted enough to know that God has the ultimate power and what he wants for you will be what works out. So nobody told me that that was the goal. I didn't know that that was the thing. I had no idea that that's what I needed to be looking out for or how to even articulate that. But once I moved to New York, so essentially what happened was I was in Miami, originally from Chicago, born and raised, moved to Miami in 2012 simply because I was just like, this is the life. I want to live here. I want to do this. How do I get this done? So I moved to Miami in 2012 and I lived there for 11, I think I lived there for actually 12 years, from 2012 to 2024. Oh my God, I lived in Miami for 12 years. But I did move from Miami to the Virgin Islands for like 2 years in between that chapter. And then I moved back to Miami. So that's why I don't always say that little piece. But back to the story. So lived in Miami, turned into an entrepreneur. Block is my second startup. My first startup was Savea. Building this company, had no idea what entrepreneurship looks like, had no idea what being a tech founder looks like, had no idea what fundraising was, any of those things. But I was just hungry, curious, figuring it out. I was working a full time job in the midst of figuring it out. And I was just making it happen. And it just felt right, right? So clearly, because I was there for 12 years. Well, 2024, actually 2023. So I was there for 11 years. Now that, God tapped me on my shoulder and said, "We're moving to New York." And I'm like, "What do you mean? I don't, what? I don't, Well, he said what he said. I understood what he said. I verified that he said what he said. He did say it. And so I said yes. I didn't even know what I was signing up for. I threw myself a going away party from Miami to New York. Um, and people were asking me which part, which borough. And I was like, I have no clue. And they like, oh, okay. When you find out, let me know. Because they understood it was like a community of entrepreneurs. But I could like just get choked up when they asked me because I knew that I was on assignment. And oftentimes when God has you on assignment, you don't always know where he's sending you. He literally told me what he told Abram, who then turned into Abraham. Um, we're moving to like move from a place, your father's home. And that's the kind of lifestyle I've been living, right? Leaving Chicago to move to Miami, the Virgin Islands, back to Miami to Chicago for a short period of time for 4 months, and then New York. Why am I telling you all of this? Today, me and my best friend was talking. I have four, by the way, but one of them. We were talking, and I was just like, imagine if Samela would have got in the way and told God no. How many lives would have been affected by this? How many? Because the work that He has me doing right now is touching so many lives, it's unlocking so many things for so many people, all because I said yes. It blows my mind, really. It really does blow my mind, the cost of obedience. And at the time, it felt like it was because the short term rental market. So I thought, okay, block my business. It was in short term rental at the time in Miami, and then we pivoted. Um, I thought, okay, well, New York has an open opportunity because Airbnb can't serve this market anymore. So I'm just going to move there and we're going to get to the bottom of this. And it was a very selfish move, but I have the ability to be selfish. It's just me. I don't have kids, right? All my family is living their life. Um, I didn't know that I was going to have this much of an impact and influence and meaning. Like, I am living a meaningful life. The work that I do gives me so much joy. To work for a startup that's a nonprofit while also helping young founders build their businesses. My students alone has gotten $50,000 investments, grants, by the way, sold at pop up shops. Damon John from Shark Tank asked to meet my students, had lunch with them, and just spent time talking to them about his journey, how he had to think about stuff, how he was moving, all of the things. Pitched on stage in front of 300 people, get invited to other competitions. One of my students spoke on stage in front of 700 people at this gala, and this 16-year-old junior killed it. And I'm like, I wish I could deliver a speech with such excellence in the way that he did it. People would not stop walking up to our table. And I'm not saying I did all of the work alone. I am saying I am their teacher while they are doing all of this amazing work. Imagine God tapping me on my shoulder. Matter of fact, put yourself in these shoes. Imagine God tapping you on your shoulder. I don't know who He's calling right now. I don't know where He's telling you to go right now. I don't know what He's trying to get your attention for. But I can tell you that my yes, that felt inconvenient, that felt uncertain, that felt even delusional to some, that felt really expensive, that felt really, did I hear him? It's so worth it. I've been in New York for a year and a half. Um, and even leading up to coming here, I was rerouted back to Chicago. And if you would have told me that, oh, by the way, when you leave Miami, you're going to Chicago for 4 months, I probably would have still been in Miami, just to be clear. So he already made accommodations for your hard headedness. He already made accommodations for your stubbornness. He's already made accommodations for your trauma, your feelings, your hurt, your pain. But those accommodations at the time may seem like it's going to cause you more harm, because when I used to go back to Chicago from Miami, I would only go for like 3 days at a time. The entire 11 years of living in Miami. And so the idea of being back into Chicago for 4 months while sleeping on air mattresses and sofas, while I have a fabulous apartment in Miami that I can go to the jacuzzi in the middle of February, sound a little crazy, right? But, but, but I am so happy that I did it. And I am now seeing the fruit. So almost 2 years later, to be fair, almost 2 years, because 183 days is half of the year. And if I've been here a year and a half, almost 2 years later, has it been 2 years? It's been 2 years. December, because I left Miami December 2023. December 2024, I was in Chicago. December 2025, I was in this apartment. Wow. 2 years later, and I'm telling you that I'm like, I am so happy I was obedient, God. And so, what I'm really trying to say, because I do got to get back to work, what I'm really trying to say is if He's calling you to something and it feels uncertain, it looks like not your normal path, and you would never choose that path for you, if God is calling you, it's worth it. How to validate if God is calling you. I feel like I heard somebody say, well, how I know if it's God calling me? Whew. I fasted. I always fast as of late, right? Like I would say over the last 4 to 5 years, I've been fasting. I fasted to hear Him, prayed, and then even in the midst of me trying to when you fast, you remove the noise, you remove the outside You've removed the distractions. You take control of yourself, especially when it comes to like food and what you don't eat and what you don't listen to. And I've done extremes of fasting. I've done no food only recently. This is the first time I've ever done a no food fast, and it was for 3 days because I don't, health reasons. So, and I'm not a health expert by any means. But every fast leading up to this one was more of a plant-based diet, right? So I would cut out meat, and I would cut out like, and I have a ebook that I will drop in the comments just in case somebody wants to download it. And it's totally free. But I fasted, and I got the confirmation. And then when I got the confirmation that it was really him from fasting, hearing his voice, reading the word, he's dropped scriptures in my spirit before. He's dropped scriptures in my dreams before. He's had people call me and say, Samela, I don't know what's going on over there, but I had a dream about X, Y, and Z. And so he does find ways to speak to you. But the best way to know if it's God is to sharpen your relationship with him. When you have a strong relationship with God and you learn to hear his voice, it's like this. When you're in a relationship with somebody, you can hear what they don't say. You can hear what they do say. You can hear what they should say because you're in a relationship. So it's the same difference with God, but you just have to be more intentional because the human person is in your presence and you can feel the energy. God is also in your presence and you can feel the energy, but it takes some attuning, it takes some discerning, it takes some removing of distractions, peeling back layers, intentionality. So, how did I hear God from fasting? Even after moving here directly, I was like, did I hear God? Because at this point, what am I doing? And then it got better, and then it got better, and then it got better, 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 better. And I'm like, oh my God, I definitely heard God. So if He's calling you to it, He's going to deliver way more, way better than you can ever even imagine because God is a God of all things well. So he's going to do it well. He's going to show you well. He's going to know how to talk uniquely to you so that you can know it's him. But it all starts with the relationship. It starts with sitting with your thoughts. It starts with leaving time for him to talk to you and not always being on hustle, hustle, hustle. Hurry up. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to do this type of time. Um, but if you're tuning in to me right now, you're watching me before the glow up, for the public glow up. Because I'm already spiritually grown up and like mentally grown up and heart posture grown up. It just has not been recognized on stage yet. But he's already gifted me with it and told me it's time and prepared me. And a lot of people don't talk about that in between space of knowing that you're aligned, but not yet being announced. But he's already crowned me. Um, and he crowned me in the private first so that I can tussle with it, ask questions, deal with my insecurities, get my heart together, get my mind together. And then he started sending people to affirm it. And they don't always say, Samela, God told me to tell you, but they affirm based on their energy to receive to me, their relationship to me, their way in which they approach me and deal with me and want to partner with me. But my uncle called me the other day. He said, Samela, I had a dream that you got on the elevator and you were headed up. He was like, I don't know what you have going on, but something big is about to happen for you, and I need you to be prepared. We didn't even have each other phone number. He had to message me on. We did we did have each other phone number, but apparently it wasn't saved or something because he's like, niece, call me. And so this is what alignment feels like. It shows up The same message is echoed. Everything around you is echoed. The way you feel is echoed. And I don't feel, while I have a lot going on in such a beautiful way, I don't feel like I'm split in half to do it. I get to show up as Samela without shape shifting, and it's enough. And people want to pay me for it. People want to pay me for showing up as Samela. And it's refreshing. It's new. I didn't know that this was a goal. And so this is why my 28 days of alignment means so much, because I believe that there's somebody who's going to come across this video whenever the time is right. Um, and it's going to speak to them, because I didn't know what I didn't know. But now I know what I know. I'm going to do it. I'm doing it. I'm doing it. Disobedience is crazy. If God tells me to do something and I understand, and I was tussling and back and forth with him on Monday, because I know he told me to do something. I just didn't want to do it. But I was thinking about doing it from the old Samela and not the new Samela. And I was like, God, could you send me a confirmation, just one more confirmation, just so I can make sure? By 2:30, a confirmation came. And I didn't even process it until like 1 a.m. And then I was like, so now that I know, really, I should have got happy, and I should get happy. And when I get off this lab now, I need to be happy, because if God just gave me the confirmation to do the thing that I was trying not to do because I was intimidated, scared, nervous, blah, 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 blah. He gave me the confirmation to do it. I should really get happy, because that means that I already won. Okay. I didn't want to go this long, but apparently I'm long winded. And I love you. I believe in you. You got this. Be great. God is with you. Kingdom intelligence is real. And the way in which He's gifted me with that, even in itself, is a whole nother conversation, which we'll go into. But it's your time, babe. Don't shrink. You got this. We got this. Trust fund babies for life. Be great, babe.